Hello students, welcome back to Pathshala. In today's session our topic is excretion in human being. We learned in our previous session that the main excretory system in human body is kidney, and the main excretory product that excrete from human body from kidney is urea. So the main waste product in human is urea, and the main excretory part in human body is kidney. So in today's session we will discuss detailed structure of human excretory system. Human excretory system is consisted of four parts. First is this two bean-shaped structures. These are known as kidneys. So this bean-shaped structure is known as kidney. They are two in number. While there is a long pipe-like structure that arises from both the kidneys, this pipe-like structure is known as ureter. Then there is both this ureter ends into or drains its contents into a bag-like structure. This bag-like structure is known as urinary bladder. And the last part is this part. This is a small tube-like projection that arises from this urinary bladder. This tube-like projection is known as ureter. So we have two kidneys, then a pair of ureter, then one single urinary bladder and one ureter in our excretory system or in our urinary system. Urine is formed in both the kidneys. Then the urine that formed in both the kidneys expelled out or excreted by this or transported into the urinary bladder via two ureters. Then urinary bladder temporarily store urine, and after that from the ureter the urine passes outside or urine is expelled outside from our body. Now let us discuss the detailed structure of the kidney first. We will discuss the detailed structure, things in this class one by one. First one is kidney. So kidney, as I told, that kidney is a small bean-shaped structure. It is about 10 centimeter long and it is about 6 centimeter wide. So this is a very small kind of structure, and both the kidneys lies in the posterior side of abdominal cavity, and it lies somewhat in lower position. So in lower back side the kidneys lies in the posterior abdominal wall, both the kidneys, and these two kidneys are protected by the last two ribs of our rib cage. So we have our rib cage in our body from our chest area to our abdominal area. So the kidneys are protected by the last two ribs of our rib cage. Then the right side, this one is the right kidney and this one is the left kidney. So as you see that the right kidney the right one is slightly lower in position than the left one, slightly lower in position. Why? Because in our right side of our abdominal cavity, a huge space is occupied by the liver. So so the liver occupies the major portion of the right side. That is why the right side kidney is slightly at lower level than the left one. Otherwise, both the kidneys are similar in structure and similar in measurement also. There is a knob-like projection in this area. So there is a notch or knob-like structure in this area of kidney, or the median portion or the medium portion of the kidneys, are there is a notch-shaped structure. This notch-shaped structure is known as hilum. This is known as hilum. This is actually the outermost structure or outer structure of kidney. So, in this notch-like thing is known as hilum, and this is actually the entry route of the renal artery. So, this is the renal artery. This one is the renal vein. Also, this one is also the entry route of the ureter, along with the lymph vessels and nerves. Being it is an organ, so it also have a huge supply of lymph as well as a extensive nerve network in its structure. So, the hilum is the entry route of what? Renal artery, renal vein, or simply renal blood vessels, then the ureter, then lymph vessels, and the nerves. The renal artery carries waste product mixed oxygenated blood. As it is the artery, we told in previous or I told you in previous classes in circulation part that artery always carry oxygenated blood, except the pulmonary artery that carries deoxygenated blood, and the renal the vein, all the veins in our body carries deoxygenated blood except the pulmonary vein. Well, pulmonary vein actually carries the oxygenated blood. So, this is the renal artery. So, obviously, the artery carries the oxygenated blood, and renal artery enters into the artery always supplies blood or oxygenated blood to different organs in our body. So, renal artery brings the oxygenated blood in both the kidneys, and this blood actually contains all the waste products from our body. Then the vein that originates from both the kidneys is known as renal vein. As it is vein, so it contains deoxygenated blood, but the blood is purified. Means the blood doesn't contain any kind of waste material. Though the renal artery contains the oxygenated blood, but it also have the waste material in it. And the renal vein contains deoxygenated blood, but it is purified. And why it is purified? Because kidney acts just like a machine to filtrate, or filter machine to filter the waste products. So the vein that originates from the kidneys contains the purified blood, and this purified blood is transported to the heart. Then if we discuss the internal structure, then come to this part, the internal structure. If we take an kidney and longitudinally section it, then we can see all these structures. So this is the renal. So this is the renal artery. This one. This blue one is renal vein. This green one, the green pipe, is actually the ureter. Sorry, actually this one, there is a mistake. This is not ureter. This is actually the urethra. This is the urethra. I'm really sorry that I mistaken it. By mistakenly I wrote it ureter, but this pipe-like structure is known as urethra. So this one is the green pipe-like structure is ureter, and this is the notch-like structure, that is hilum. So the longitudinal section shows two regions of the kidney. The outer region is known as cortex, while the inner region is known as medulla. Outer region is cortex and inner region is medulla. Mostly the organs have the outer side known as cortex and the inner side is known as the medulla. Also, the kidney, in both the kidneys and upper side, there is a pyramid-shaped structure that situated. This one is completely a different structure that lies above the kidneys. This one is known as the adrenal gland or the suprarenal gland. The suprarenal gland acts as an endocrine gland where different kinds of hormones are produced. So we discuss the hormones in our next chapter. So in that portion we will discuss in detail the adrenal gland or the suprarenal gland in detail. So now let us discuss the internal structure of kidney. So there is a cortex region along with the medulla region. So cortex region contains some parts of the unit of first I would like to say that the unit of kidney is known as nephron. Urine of lung, as we discussed in our previous session, that unit of lung is alveolus. So similarly, a unit of our body is a cell. Similarly, the unit of kidney is nephron. So nephrons are nothing but the small tube-like part of the kidney. There are millions of nephrons that lies in both the kidneys. So nephron has some different parts. We will discuss all these parts in detail in our next session. But I would like to mention that the cortex part contains the Malpighian tubule, distal convoluted tubule along with the proximal convoluted tubule. But the medullary portion, the cortex portion, contain the Malpighian tubule, then the proximal convoluted tubule, then the distal convoluted tubule. But the medulla portion contains the Henle loop along with the collecting duct. We will discuss this structure in detail in our next session. So don't panic or don't get confused. We will discuss in our detailed structure in our next session. So what I told is the outer portion or outer cortex contains the Malpighian tubule, proximal and distal convoluted tubule of nephron. But the medulla portion contains the Henle loop of nephron and the collecting duct. Collecting duct is a duct that is the opening of different nephrons. So the nephron ends up, or the nephron pour its contents in the collecting duct. Collecting duct actually collects the contents from different nephrons and it drains it contained into a cup-like structure. This is the cup-like structure. So there is a cup-like structure present in medium portion of the kidney. This cup-like structure is known as pelvis. So this cup-like structure is known as pelvis. So pelvis actually collects the urine that formed in the nephron. It collects the urine, and it also contains the renal artery, renal vein, lymph vessels, and the ureter entry path. So the pelvis actually collects uh, all this urine from collected from different collecting ducts, and the pelvis drains its contents into the ureter. So there is a you can see that there is different kind of pyramid shaped structure in kidney. So this pyramid shaped structure is known as medullary pyramids. So this is the medullary pyramids, and the medullary pyramids actually is a kind of projection that separates the medulla portion from the cortex area. Then next part we discuss the ureter. So the ureter is about 30 centimeter, near about 30 centimeter long. So this ureter is nothing but a pipe-like structure that originates from both the kidneys, and it ends up into a bag-like structure or bladder that is known as urinary bladder. So ureter is near about 30 centimeter long, and it is guarded by different kind of muscles or special type of muscle that maintains or that helps to maintain its peristaltic movement. We already discussed what is peristaltic movement in our elementary canal system in that session. So ureter actually guarded by different specialized muscles to maintain its peristaltic movement of urine. Then there is next part is urinary bladder. So there is a bag-like structure that temporarily store urine, and the capacity of this urinary bladder is 300 to 650 ml. 300 to 650 ml of urine. So this bag-like structure is known as urinary bladder. This is also guarded by muscles, and the storing capacity of urinary bladder is 300 to 650 ml of urine. So next, last structure is urethra. Urethra is nothing but a small tube-like part that originates from the urinary bladder, and it actually drains the urine from urinary bladder to outside our body. In male, it is about human male, it is about 20 centimeter long, and in human female, it is about only 4 centimeter long. So in human male, the urine along with the germ cell that is known as sperm expelled outside in body through the urethra or the penis, actually the reproductive organ penis, and there is a common pipe-like structure that throws both this part outside. But in male, the urethra is about 20 centimeter long, and in female it is only about 4 centimeter long, and it is also guarded by specialized muscles. These muscles are known as sphincter muscle that controls the flow of urine. So that's all for today. We will meet in our next session with the detailed structure of the unit of kidney. Thank you so much.